Another breakthrough in breathing from Afrin.
It is weekly planner time at the Weather Channel. If you're planning for the rest of the night, looks a bit showery in the west. More rain coming back at us tomorrow. In the northeast, it's a mess of things. Snow toward White Plains. But around New York City, we're seeing either some rain, a chance of a little more sleet, and even freezing rain. And just plain old rain coming in toward Boston eventually. More snowflakes in the Midwest. A few drops of water there in the Southland across parts of Florida. That's what's happening now, but maybe more importantly, you're in for the night. You're ready to see what happens next. In the northeast, we'll keep it a little bit cool. We'll keep it a bit active with the northern branch of the jet for the Pacific Northwest. But our system's coming in here bringing us rain and some snow. Won't have a lot of success in moving eastward. That's because this big blocking Canadian high is in place. The physics of this motion kind of up and over keep the air closer to the surface spun clockwise. That's at high pressure. That's how that forms. So we'll see a very inactive time across the northern plains and the Midwest and the northeast. Southern branch, different story. Our trough will swing ashore. We'll see more rainfall potential another day or two in the southwest. Then things will get a little bit drier. You're not looking at another system to kick right back in, so we'll get a bit of a break in southern Cal. But right there, across Texas, that's where the system's going to move as it continues to kick on toward the east. Around the panhandle of Texas, we could see some snowfall. A little wet toward Dallas and Houston for a couple of days this week, and eventually more potential problems for the southern U.S. as well. A lot of things to look at. Let's bring it to your attention now. With Monday, we'll begin here. Scattered showers popping up. Again, not the all-day soaking rains like we saw today for San Francisco. Just a little wet weather here and there. Showers for the Pacific Northwest could be a little bit heavy at times. In the Four Corners, some rain and a bit of snow. Might even see a chance of a morning shower on Phoenix, Arizona. A few sprinkles into Florida, but we'll keep our eyes here in the northeast with some rain toward Boston, Hartford, Providence. Around New York City, we could see a little rain, too, as our system continues to move away and the milder air wraps in. Our freezing rain will be fading away here shortly. We will see some snow, though, on Buffalo, Pittsburgh, even toward Cleveland. Now into Tuesday, a little quieter in the northeast, but still windy. The wake of our system will keep our winds kicked up. New York City, even at times around Philadelphia. But watch the emergence of this system. Again, this is what we're dealing with in California throughout our day today. Taking the southern track. And why is it going south? Because it's being blocked to the north. It has to go under it. Can't go over it. So it's going to go under it. That's where it's moving with the rain for Dallas and Houston. Could see a little mess of frozen precip parts of Louisiana. Also into Arkansas. And more snowfall, including the panhandle of Texas and also toward Oklahoma City. Okay, this system is going to kick on to the east. This system really not able to make much movement. Again, it's being blocked. So we'll keep it wet for the northwest, parts of northern California, but along the coast. That's where the showers persist. May see some rain toward Atlanta, Georgia. You might see the chance of a little frozen precip in northern parts of Georgia. Snowfall in toward Birmingham. We could do it. Throughout Mississippi, we'll see the flakes fly. And some showers toward Houston. We might see some light snow in toward Dallas by Wednesday. Into Thursday, southeastern U.S., little mess of frozen precip, Carolinas, potentially into Georgia. Little mix of rain and snow happening elsewhere. Wet for Florida. But in the Four Corners, as our big ridge of protection breaks down, we'll start to see our system moving across the Four Corners with more snow. Some rain back into Texas by Friday. Snowfall in toward Denver. Then by Saturday, right in the middle of the country, snowfall for Detroit, Indy, Chicago, around Kansas City, St. Louis, Milwaukee, too. And some rain across the southern U.S. and parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and maybe even around New Orleans on the Big Easy. Into Sunday, snowfall back in the northeast. Finally, the ridge is down to let a little active weather in. And we'll keep it a little wet and wintry for the Pacific Northwest. Here's our high temperatures. Little reinforcing nudge of cool air we'll feel around Chicago, but it shouldn't make things too unbearable. Still mild into most of Florida. A little warmer into Wednesday, and some mild air kind of kicking up across the plains and into Texas, too, even through Friday. Here's what happens with the overnight lows. No major bitter Arctic outbreak. Not looking at really bone-chilling temperatures. It will be a bit cool coast to coast, but in most cases fairly seasonal temperatures even on to Friday. Let's have a look at our weekend specifically with the Weekend Outlook being sponsored by Ocean Spray. Here's what averages show us for the dates that are on toward next weekend, toward next Saturday and Sunday. Climatology, kind of a weather history shows us. Temps often in the 70s in South Florida and the 30s around Chicago. And the average lows hovering close to in the teens there around Chicago, 20s, parts of southern Missouri, and the panhandle of Texas as well. Let's look at some specifics with a look toward the forecast toward next weekend. Into Saturday, you may see some rain from Cleveland, across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, and into parts of Southland, too. Some snow toward Chicago, Detroit, Indy as well. By Sunday, that system may bring some snow toward Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. A little rain in the Appalachians and more rain back in the Pacific Northwest. Let's look at our weekend with the Weekend Outlook, again been sponsored by Ocean Spray. Here's our current weather scenario. Lots of great weather in the middle, but a little slippery on the coast and a little wet on the west coast. We'll look at its impact on you next after your local forecast with Weather Center.
This program was sponsored by new Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Strawberry. You know it's good.
An Ocean Spray Ruby Red Grapefruit. Delicious by itself, but when you pair it up with a plum sweet strawberry, you get a taste that's pure magic. Introducing new Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Strawberry. A delightful combination of premium Ruby Red grapefruits from Florida and juicy sun-ripened strawberries that virtually dances on your tongue. New Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Strawberry. Give it a spin. Ocean Spray. You know it's good. Ocean Spray.
I keep thinking if I drive real slow and I take a lot of back roads, maybe I can hold on to my daughter just a little bit longer.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
It's a new way to plan your day. Get the weather information you need from Marshall Cease and Heather Tesh, including your local forecast on the 8th. Tune into Your Weather Today, weekday mornings from 7 till 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
That same winter storm that pounded the southeast and, of course, the central plains over the weekend, now dumping some sleet, freezing rain, and even some snow along the eastern seaboard. Like around White Plains, a little bit on the flaky side now, but still some freezing rain around New York City Metro. We'll take a more complete look at that coming up with this Weather Center. I'm Paul Emick.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Schwartz. We've got some light snow in the upper Midwest, too.
Yeah, oh yeah, a little bit.
Seems like everywhere east of the Rocky Mountains has had some impact from the storm. Most of it frozen. Let's begin in the Northeast and see what's happened. Paul, this is a map we just put together showing you how much snow has fallen as this storm became an East Coast storm. Now, we've heard all about the ice in Georgia, the Carolinas, and parts of Virginia. Well, on the northwest side of this storm, on the cold side, it was snow. And boy, was it coming down heavy last night. When I left work in Roanoke, Virginia, that snow was coming down. And up in the mountains north of town, boy, over 1 foot. That's what purple indicates on our storm history frame. The Appalachians have taken it hard. On the west side of the Appalachians in Wheeling, about 1 inch. Pittsburgh, a couple of inches. Philadelphia, also a couple of inches. But right in here. And the same will be said for the rest of tonight, up through Albany, Troy, Saratoga Springs, right up through Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, before the storm finally leaves into the Canadian Maritimes tomorrow night. Here it comes. Low pressure right up through central Jersey. Green indicates plain old unadulterated rain. White is snow, and in between the freezing rain and sleet line. Freezing rain in North Jersey, a little snow out there in Sussex County. Here in Philadelphia, the precipitation just about over now. This is all rain, temperatures in the low to mid 30s, and it's washed away all the snow that fell earlier this evening. Now we've got dry air moving in from the west, a few snow flurries up in the mountains. That's it. So the precipitation just about over now downtown, and will be ending shortly here in Cheltenham, right up toward Trevose and out into Bucks County and up toward Trenton, New Jersey. Here in New York City, we started off with some snow, as our friends did in Philadelphia. This is what it looked like late this afternoon as we got off work. Headed out, perhaps to dinner, hailing a cab. Temperature was in the 20s. The roads at this point were just plain old wet. And now we just have rain in New York City too. So the light snow that you did pick up is gone. However, if you head west out of New York City and Newark and head beyond Morristown out into Sussex County, very heavy wet snow there. So watch the driving. Here in town, temperatures are in the low to mid 30s. We hit around 40 out around Islip, New York. But here in Newark and westward, out towards Springfield and Mountainside, Plainfield, temperatures are still 30 to 31, so we do have a little bit of icing. There are icicles out there in some of the stop signs around the neighborhoods. Good thing is the precipitation will end here during the wee hours tonight. 34 right now officially at LaGuardia, colder in North Jersey, warmer out on the island. Here in Boston, we're 33. Snow will be starting here very shortly, but that will change over to rain. This is sleet right in here. To the north of that, it's snowing in Hartford. That'll change over to sleet, then a little bit of freezing rain, then some rain, then that'll end just before you wake up in the morning. Springfield snowing, Boston, nothing happening here yet. We'll have snow. That will wash away with the rain. You'll end up tomorrow morning, temperature above freezing with rain. Albany all snow, Rutland all snow, Brattleboro all snow, Portland snow mixed with little sleet and freezing rain tomorrow. So, that's a wrap on the northeast. Here in the southeast, we have cleared out nicely. Still a spin to the clouds. An upper level area of low pressure is moving across Ohio at the present time. As that heads east, that's actually serving to intensify this low. This storm, which is actually now in New Jersey, will be strengthening as it heads toward the northeast. So we'll still have a lot of precipitation in the northern Appalachians. Snowfall, very light, but we have picked up 3 to 6 inches in southern Wisconsin. A couple of inches here in Chicago. Light snow moving through Pittsburgh. That's what the radar is picking up right now, as you can see. We've had 2 to 3 inches of basically powder out here. Out toward Wheeling, we still have some light snow, so watch the driving. A few snow flurries still being picked up on radar in Detroit. And here in Elgin, Illinois, flurries, Chicago, no real problems. As we head west and south, we dry out until we hit the west coast. It's where Paul Emick lives. He reports. Paul?
So the west coast has been the wet coast with us here all day long. We've dealt with a lot of rain, especially San Francisco and areas to the north. Right now, though, it's Southern Cal seeing some of the showers. We'll keep that around 2 in the morning, off and on. But a little heavier rain may approach us for the afternoon. A pretty steady supply of moisture has been coming in. We do expect more in the way of scattered showers for our Monday, the heavy dumping we've seen here all day, right? Well, across the middle part of the west, or the interior west, things are pretty quiet. High pressure is in charge. A little batch of stability takes care of us. But in parts of Nevada, it's a little snowy. Elko and even at times around Winnemucca, snow coming in. Some snow around Boise and also around Pasco, Washington. But let's look